We got Mic Angelo. Stop playing with it.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, welcome. This is the you've been to Thrill House before. Shout out to Thrill House, everybody out there where we started, man, and now we're at the legendary Warfield. Thank you for coming down. I've been waiting for you. I know you're a busy person and you got a lot. We're gonna dive into a lot of the stuff that you've been doing. But first of all, how you feel? You performed yesterday. You did amazing.
Thank you.
That I band direct this whole set, and that I'm not gonna lie, that's like one of my favorite moments that we have on the set when they're jumping around, bro, and doing that song. But talk to me about the show yesterday, how it went, and everything.
Yeah, well, let me start with saying, like, I'm super proud of the BQM team. I'm super proud of Diabla. Super proud of Diabla. You know, she's been, since I met Diabla, you can see the genuine passion for the music.
Yeah.
Which is something that I could really like align with her. I feel like when you think about music and when you think about doing the music, a lot of it's the fame. But with Diabla, it's the music, just like I am. So I knew it was gonna be a great outcome regardless. Even if it was just her and her show, I knew it was gonna be a great outcome. It was awesome. It was amazing. I was literally, I'm very proud, but this was like my first like sober show in a long time. Just being in the moment is really important for me. And this wasn't my show. This was her show. So giving that respect and being fully there for her was super important for me. And the outcome, I feel like, was great. You know, I went there. I didn't forget nothing. And everything was good.
Yeah. How'd that feel? Because you performed a lot of times. Yeah. Like, you know, maybe a sip or two or something. How did that feel yesterday?
It felt very in tune and very in the moment. I got to take in everything, but like people were asking me, like, "Are you having fun?" And I'm like, "I'm having fun," but the thing is, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and a lot of people caught me like this, looking at the outline with my fingers going up in parts. She had to go up, going down in parts. So they're like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "What are you doing?" You know, her friends like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm listening." Like, I'm making sure. So I think that's just the artist part and just like the sisterhood part. Making sure she was on point, you know, as a person too. Yeah. But yeah, it was an amazing outcome. It was an amazing feeling. I'm proud of doing this sober. Yeah. You know, I got to really interact with people, remember the people. So it was cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. I think we did a big event last year. 7-7. This year was 8-8. Last year we did 7-7. I do this for like my special like family artists that I have, bro. And last year at the Midway, that was an amazing event. I felt like we practiced. That was a good run to see like how we're gonna do the next one. And then I think you mentioned you should do 9-9 next month. I'm like 9-9 next year, man. But talk to me about last year, because you like, what I love about you working with Diabla is I don't see cattiness. I see a genuine camaraderie, and especially you got rap, right? Rap is very competitive, but then you have the female world where females can be catty, you know, and you've dealt with a lot of that in your career, you know, and not just in your career but in your work as well. Talk to me about, first of all, flowers to you, because you put Diabla on last year. You guys did Chief for your set. That was part of the Keyed Up album. And we performed at the Midway. That was a legendary show that we had. Talk to me about how you like hit it off with Diabla, like, because you don't really see that, especially rappers.
Yeah, I think like Diabla already just being a Spanish rapper was something that was super intriguing to me. I don't really have rapper friends, for one, that are females, and I don't like females. Let me just start there. I don't like females. It's too much work. They're not about their money how they're supposed to be. It's just, you feel me? And I'm very much so like boy tendencies. So sometimes I'm too aggressive, I'm too much, I'm too blunt, so I'm like, whatever. Diabla, I feel like Diabla, not on no controllership, but Diabla listens to me. And I feel like, you know, I've been doing this for almost 12 to 15 years. And I feel like if I'm telling, you know, something, it's not because I'm a hater. I'll never be a hater. At the end of the day, was meant for me, God has written already. So I just feel like, you know, if I'm telling you, it's because I've been there. And Diabla is very open. She's open to feedback. And I'm a person who believes in feedback. You know, so I think just her being open is what made me kind of be more open for me. Because for the most part, like, I'd be like, let her do her, let me do me, and I'll see you at the top. That was always my logic. But with Diabla, I feel like we can walk this path together. We can help each other out. We can meet new people. Like, we're from two different worlds for sure. You know, so I feel like intertwining that is like really dope, and I feel fine around her. Yeah.
I'm glad you touched on that, because I wanted to like let people know too, like you've been doing this for a while. Like you're super inspiring, like even for me as a man producer, but the way I've seen you grind and your albums, bro. Like I remember when I had to do my recon on your music when we were interviewing at Thrill House, and I was like, damn, bro, you got albums like when you were super young. Bro.
Yeah,
super young. And I remember Diabla, when she found out about you, it was inspiration. It was like, oh my God, like, and that's what I love about her, is that she's a student of the craft.
Yeah.
And then she also pays homage to the ones that are paving the way for a Diabla to do this. And that's something that I feel like you, from San Francisco, being a female Latina, half Mexican, Salvadorian, bro, like you're really putting on for a lot of females, and that's why I was so happy that you were part of this, because it's like full circle. If we're gonna go up, like we need our aces part of this thing. So but man, like talk to me about when you first started doing music. Like where was your mentality at, and how has your mentality changed now in 2025?
Yeah, it's been a long road for sure. I believe I've been doing music for a long time. You know, it started as poetry. I'm from San Francisco Bay Area. I was outside. You know, the streets was my lifestyle. So I feel like I don't know, with the streets comes music. I know it sounds kind of odd, but it's just like our ghetto melody. So, you know, it gets us by. It makes our days go faster. It brings joy. So when I was in LA, I moved to LA, and I was writing poetry. And I remember, like, vividly, I'll never forget, I was attending Gardena High School. Shout out the homie Andy Mowgli. He told me one day they were having a cypher at a park, and he's like, you should come by just to see me. And I go, and he tells me, spit that shit you had in your notebook. And I'm like, oh, Andy, that's just poetry. It's not like, you know? And he's like, anything that's poetry could be music. He's like, so speak what you're saying. And the crowd, like, the circle we had, like, was like, we never seen a girl rap. Like, we never, like, you know? And I was like, dang. And at that time, I was, like, 13, 14. And I kind of knew, okay, like, at that time, my brother was locked up. My mom was really sick, battling with depression. I was in LA. They were in San Francisco. He was at that time in San Quentin, one of the most hardest prisons to be in. And he was young. And I just felt like the best way to express myself was through music. And then shortly after, I ended up finding some CDs, like burned CDs, with my brother's, like, music. And I didn't even know they did music. And I was like, this is dope. Like, that's when I realized at 14, poetry becomes music. Lyrics could be on a CD, and people can enjoy my CD. Yeah. I was all like, this is crazy. Yeah. But what I knew from the get-go, because even though I was in LA, I always knew I'm from San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I'm from Alamany Projects. They used to call me Alamany up there. Yeah. So I'm all like, people knew what I represented. Mm-hmm. So I knew I wanted to come back home. So when I hit 15, you know, in the Latin culture, ya sos señorita, pues haz lo que querés. I was like, pues me voy a ir. Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to go back to San Francisco. Came to my mom, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this here. So it's just so crazy now that I think back on it, that at such a young age, I knew what I was gonna do. Mm-hmm. And I'm now 29, and I'm still doing it. So, you know, like, the dream keeps going. It definitely has evolved in many ways. Like I said, I'm 29 now. Things change, you know, like with trials and tribulations, you go through things. With growth comes change. And I believe, like, if you're not changing within your growth, then you're not doing nothing. Mm-hmm. So I've learned now to accept, like, what I'm becoming. Mm-hmm. It's really hard, you know, because I'm known as a West Coast, East Coast. I'm so versatile, like, as a rapper, you know, but people know me for hood music, you know, but I don't live in the hood no more. I got myself out the hood, you know. I don't pop pills anymore. I don't play with yayo no more. I don't drink like that no more. So there's a lot of changes that are coming in the music that I'm rolling with the punches as well as a person, because I didn't plan for it. My plan was to be a hood artist and become one of the dopest gangster rappers in the industry, you know? So I don't know. And then the industry's changing as well. It's not really about the music, you know, maybe 10% is about the music, but now it's more so, can I sell your brand, and how do you look, and can you create drama? Can you be relevant? And, you know, the person I become because I was outside in the streets is more of I call myself an extroverted invert because I like being around people, but I'm very, you know, aware, closed off. Yep. So it's a battle. It's been a battle for sure. Like,
I think, you know, honestly, you saying that, I think is you're reserving your energy for the stuff that you need, because you know you have a path. You know your path. And so when people know their path, you don't have to be loud. You don't have to be out there. Yes, you do, because you have to still social.
Promote,
right? You still have to do all that, but what you're doing is you're like observing and trying to calculate your next moves to be able to make it where you're trying to make it. So it's like I feel the same way. I think many of us that are on this road, that it's never going to be that we're going to reach that goal, right? It's always, like you said, as you grow, you progress, and then you add those elements to that path to make that vision that you have come in. And it's really good that you're doing it at 29, because a lot of people do it like in their mid 30s to late 30s. But if you're coming to that age where you're thinking about that way in inches, not only with that, but being sober, it's you already have the path. It's just now you're following it to get to that, to initiate it faster than most people would, you know, at your age. But yeah, man, you know, congrats. That's
thank you.
That's big.
And I want to touch on that because, you know, we're products of our environment, right? We're raised in the city, but first, before I go to that, I need to touch on LA and San Francisco. So a lot of your influences is LA and San Francisco music.
And the East Coast, honestly. Like, growing up in LA, okay, so me being from Frisco, it's like an automatic. It's in our blood. We know who Mac Dre is. We know who E40 is. We know who Andre Nicotine is. We know who these people are. RBL, we know. So I'm slapping that out there. They're telling me, like, we listen to Snoop Dogg out here. We listen to Tupac at the time. You know, so they're like, we have Mac 10. We have Ice Cube. I'm like, okay. And me, at that time, Joey Badass was just such a thing. I'm like, let me see what's up with the East Coast. So at that time, I'm listening to Talib Kweli. I'm listening to Black Star. I'm listening to, you know, so at that time, I feel like at the beginning of my career, I was a hip-hop head. So things were more lyrical. But as you go into the industry, you realize that, like, lyrical, that's its own, like, genre. Like, real, like, you know, real boom-bap hip-hop. And I wanted, like I said, I've always wanted to be, like, versatile.
You want to be that gangster.
Yeah, I was all like, let me see how I could be lyrical, but then have that melodic gangster sound, and just, you know, find myself within all that. That's why when tell me what genre you are, I'm all like, you know, people label me because of how I look and where I'm from, not because of what I give you guys, because what I give is a shitload of shit, you know?
For sure.
I can't be boxed in with my catalog. That's impossible. So I think, and that's why I think now as an adult, I am trying to figure out the person I am, you know? Because at the end of the day, people are going to always, like, judge you or point it out by what they see. Because they don't know you. They don't know you from a can of paint. But what you show says a lot. And I think that's why I'm taking it serious right now. Like, my walk, my everything. I'm like, okay, I need to be smart on what I'm promoting, what I'm doing, who I'm showcasing. You know, because people matter. Who's watching matters.
I was going to say, I think it's inspiring to see... Look, I feel like your music is not, it's not for the regular consumer. It's for the consumer that's really going to connect, and you're really, because your music, you're speaking to people, and you're also sharing, like, your story. It's like your diary, right? And some people are going to connect with it, and then right now that you're going into a different transition, I feel like it's great that people could see that, you know what, God's been always there in our lives, right? Because if you think about even when we were in the trenches, and, you know, for me, let's say being shot at or being stabbed, I could have been dead. But for whatever reason, God was still there in those dark moments, got me through until I started seeing, like, brother, there's, like, he's showing me, like, there's a better way. There's, like, do this, seek the kingdom of God, and everything you want shall be added. And as soon as I started seeing that, it's like my whole world started changing. And I feel like it's important for people to see that, you know what, yes, we have to dedicate time with the Most High, but He will meet you in the trenches.
Yeah, He will.
You know, and
He met me there.
So talk to me, how did that transition happen with you, you know, feeling like you want to go in that direction?
Got you. I feel like the biggest pivotal point was an alcohol poisoning incident I had. I was living very reckless and very worldly. At that time, 3 exes ago, I was with somebody for almost 6 years, and he's in jail right now.
Yeah.
Even to now, it's been 8 years. But the case was such a big deal, and I had to go to court. You know, I got picked up by the freaking cops at my job. Like, it was just so much commotion at the time, like, going on. But I was so convinced, like, this is the lifestyle. Like, this is my lifestyle, you know. But the more I kept going to courts, and the more I found out stuff as a person, things I didn't know, I felt like a fool, you know. And I felt like a fool. I felt like, man, I'm over here writing for somebody, you know, doing something completely different, you know, and that could have jeopardized me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm an artist. When I get with people, they know who I am and what I have to lose. Yeah. So when you jeopardize me like that, it makes me feel some type of way, you know?
Yeah.
And I knew I didn't want that, but that caused a very large depression, and it led me to alcoholism, like, very bad. Like, you know, I wouldn't even go out sometimes. Sometimes there would be a lot of bottles just under my bed. Yeah. And when my mom kind of, like, realized that, it led to me going out one night to a party, and I got alcohol poisoning, and there. So this is just what it's supposed to be.
Yep.
And I understand that. And I think, like, me having that understanding, it's why the transition, don't get me wrong, I cry about it all the time, because I'm like, oh my God, there's a change coming that I never thought was going to really, like, come the way it's coming. My grandmother and mom always told me, later in your 30s, 40s, 50s, people meet God, people transition, like, you know. But I'm kind of early on right now. I'm kind of young, and I'm ready to give up everything, as long as I'm living the right way, and I'm not harming people on the way. Yeah. And the more I got closer to God, I realized that everything you do can influence, and you don't know how that person is being influenced. And I think that's the scariest part. Imagine just posting something simple on Facebook and they receive it a different way. Yeah. Like, that's so scary. Like, you know, so I just... It's a responsibility. Yeah. I feel like, you know, it's a responsibility. Like, I feel like the whole way, like, humans were supposed to be was love, 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 you know, and we lost that. Yeah. And it's so weird because I'm gaining that back, you know, or maybe maybe it was there, but I never really had it. Like, when I saw a homeless person, I'd be like, oh, they're just going to use it to go get what? That's not what it's about. Do you want to help them or not? Do you want to give it? Do you want to, you know? So it's just like, yeah, a lot of changes are coming, and it is hard to adjust to it. But the more I'm accepting of it, because I've been battling, my partner's been very helpful in this process, because I've been like, I'm going to just, I don't want to say give up, because I'll never give up, but it's just kind of like I'm so lost right now, because there's not necessarily rules, but there's certain, you have a conscience. Once you get closer up, you have a conscience, you know right from wrong, and you know what it is. So there's a lot of, like, discernment in me, and it's just, it is a battle. But now, the more I'm letting it happen, let go, let God, is such a big thing. I'm creating beautiful music. Like, you know, I'm about to go in the studio and create music that I never knew that I had the ability to create, you know? And I know that it's positive music. I know that it's music that's going to uplift. And not only that, I know it's a multi-million-dollar industry where I'm about to step in. Yeah. So I'm very, very positive, like, about it. And I'm excited about it. And not only that, like, I am still who I am. I still am the same little girl that used to roam the streets, but I'm letting her go. I'm letting her keep roaming. Yeah. And, you know, my little Casper, I'll see you out there. Yeah. But
when did you start thinking that way? Like, what's the age? And I asked that because I want to share something with you, but first
maybe officially where I'm like, okay, God, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Maybe 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah, but then I had keyed up. I know I have a team. I have, you know, so I knew I had to release what I had. And even now I have a feature with Black C. Shout out Black C. We have Hotel coming out. Shout out Young Cuddy. But I need to release what has to be released, because one thing I'm not gonna do. A lot of people tend to erase their catalog. To start their new journey. I don't want that. I want people to see exactly where I came from. I'm on YouTube at 13, 12 years old talking to a camera. I want them to see that. I want them to see everything I've been through. I've been very open on the internet. I've always been like, I would go live when I used to be downtown out here, and they've seen my life. Yeah. So this is not something that they shouldn't, I wouldn't say see coming, but because there's been so much change in my life, best believe something's coming, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, 2 years ago is when it kind of started, but now I feel like this last year, I'm on fire.
Like ownership, you're taking full ownership of that thought process. Yeah. I've read articles and I've digged into it because it was very intriguing that when it comes to your consciousness, they say that you change every 7 years. So when you start thinking about it, when you turn 7, you kind of, you're walking, you're running, you have this thought process. And then comes 14. That's your teenage years. That's the years that you start really developing your world around you. And then after that is 21. You become an adult. You feel more of that ownership of I am now standing on my own. Now you're coming to 28, 29 years old. You're thinking so. You're not just thinking as you were at 21 or 14. Now it's like this new venture, because not only you've been through your 20s, which in your 20s you tend to fall and pick up yourself a lot, right? A lot. But now, since that's tapering off, now you're able, your conscious, your mind, whatever it is able to see past that, right? Because you've gone through these revelations that you went through. So what I'm trying to say is that you're on track. You're on track, and the thing about it is you are also acknowledging the world around you. So you understand, like you're saying, the impact that you can do on someone when you are giving whatever it is, speech, poems or whatever, right? Because they say that words are spells. So they make you feel a certain way when someone says something about you, when they criticize you, or they give you props, or they give you the flowers. It empowers you. So you're doing great. You're you even from the first time that we interview, I can see that you have the way how you think. I haven't seen it like that.
Thank you.
With your age range, there is here and there, though, and I'm not knocking them, but what I'm saying is like you really are advanced when it comes to that. I can see you doing everything that you're planning to do. So, don't get stuck so much on the stress. Not that I'm saying you are, but just kind of go with the flow, like they say.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you got it. Like you're trusting God. I wanted to just share something. My son, I come from that world. I was on tour doing the gospel stuff, and then once you
you do?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I was like, brother, the smallest show I did was like 25,000 people, but I was and I was with the dude that just did the movie with Beyonce, The Fighting Temptations. So it was like that gospel. So he was like the inmate with Montel Jordan. He was like an inmate too, but he's like this Nicaraguense Salvadorian dude. He's like the Jay-Z of gospel, but we used to do so much, like the biggest stuff, traveled all over the world. But once you get to a level where your integrity gets compromised, like it's in everything. It's not just it's not just in out here in the world or in hip hop. It's in the churches too. In the churches, there's a lot of shadiness. I went to a church where the dude was a scammer. He was scamming all the Latinos that didn't have papers, and he knew that they didn't have papers. So he would push like them and intimidate them to give like their check, not even 10%. He was going like he had a thing that would say, "Hey, we're trying to raise $1 million." And he was buying properties and stuff like lowriders and boats and stuff. So it was crazy, bro. But in everything, but you're gonna be tested, because then you're that's when God gives you discernment. He's developing that. Do you want to seem like you're doing good, or do you want to do good? Because sometimes if you do good, it looks like you're not doing good. But at the end of the day, when you're doing good, what the hell does it matter what anybody else thinks? Because you're doing good. Yeah. It may not look like what people think, but so for me, I've always known, and this is me rebelling with God, in my life, because my pops left me, and I was in the streets, but it was always like he was showing me so much. He was conditioning me to be in these, because we're gonna have to double back and go back to these places. It's not like we're not.
You are.
Yeah. It's not like we're saying, hey, see ya. No. Like we know that God's doing something in us. So then once He gets that ready in us, we could go back into these places and do more. And I feel like that's kind of like what He's doing with you. And
no, definitely. Like, not only am I a Christian, but the duty of a Christian is to be a disciple. So I am becoming a disciple, and I understand that, and I'm okay with that, because I lived life without God, and I live life with God, and I will always choose to live life with God, because the peace I receive, and just like you said, knowing that you're doing good, even if the world doesn't think you're doing good, knowing that you do, He assures me of it every day, and the outcome is gonna be okay. I know it is. But, you know, like I said, great partner because I cry about it a lot. Because my dream, like, you know, my hip hop dream.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, why, you know?
Yeah.
And I've, like you said, I've grinded so long, so hard. In my eyes, the network I have, the people I know, it should have happened. If it was meant for me, it should have happened. And I need to just stay positive and keep going because music, at the end of the day, I'm going to always do it. You know, it's a gift that's, by the way, it's borrowed. It's not mine. It's not owned. It's borrowed. And I'm going to keep doing it because that's what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. But maybe he's just pivoting me a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to see the success that I've been yearning for. Mm-hmm. And maybe it wasn't meant for me to see it where I thought I was going to see it. That doesn't mean I'm not going to see it at all. Mm-hmm. I might not even see it through me. I might see it through Diabla. Mm-hmm. I might be able to witness her doing her thing or anybody else. And that's going to bring the joy, you know? But really, my focus is making sure everybody's saved. Yeah. Making sure people are listening to music that's not, like you said, you're doing spells. Yeah. As you're doing this, there's literally what's his name?
Travis Scott.
Big concert. Why are people dying at your concerts? Like, it's a lot going on. You know, you could say it's the packness, the breathing. DMX used to do it all the time. But you know what he did? He prayed before it. Yep. I don't even remember DMX, somebody dying at a show. And we're talking about amongst people. And right. I'm like, well, what are we talking about? So I feel like, you know, everything what you put out there is very important. How people receive it is very important. It's not like we can dictate how people are going to receive things, but you could dictate how you're going to put it out there.
Look, I'm going to tell you like this. You just touched on DMX. You touched on so many things. And it brought me back to when we went in 2015 with Los Racas, we went to Coachella. And because we were like with them and we performed and they were the first Latinos to perform there, so they like gave us a VIP treatment so we could go in backstage, all the stages that were there. So it was, shout out Walter, but it was me, Walter, and Rico, and we were, you know, it would, first of all, going to the stage, it was a certain energy that just getting there, it was just like dark. And then my brother Walter was gonna knock out some security, and he's hella professional, but it was just. And then we all got like rowdy a little bit, and then it's like let's just get away. So we split up, and it was me, Walter, and Rico, and then we went behind the stage. I can't remember what the band was, but they're about to perform, and in the back, and no disrespect, everybody has their faith, so I'm not you know crapping on anything, but you know because I come from like my family used to do witchcraft and all of that, so I'm used to that, but. Like to see it on stage is the first time that I've seen it like face to face, right? Where they're behind the stage and they're doing a ceremony with like the people that are in hoods, and while that's happening, the images on this big screen is flashing, and I'm looking at the images and it's saying sex, murder, sex,
right?
Devil, sex, all of this stuff, and I'm like, what? And then I'm looking at the crowd, and then I'm telling Walter and them, I'm like, bro, you better cover yourself in the name of Jesus.
No,
you know
for
what I mean? Like there's some real stuff going on right now. But my tendency, because the way. When I was on tour with the church, they tend to be scared of a lot of that stuff, and they're like, no, and they get like very like religious, and it's like, you know what, God put this peace in me while this is going, because naturally I'm like, bro, like what the heck, like let's run, you know, but it was like, no, if I put you in there, I could put you in the belly of the beast,
literally,
and just like Daniel in the lion's den, like you'll come out untouched. So, but I gotta condition you because I need you to go in these places and get my people out. That's what you're called to do. And ever since then, I've understood that, you know what? I don't have to explain myself on, some people think that I'm not even a Christian or whatever. I don't care, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm doing God's work and I'm interacting with witches and I'm interacting with Muslims and everything. But I'm bringing what I believe, and we're respectfully, like, you know,
talking about it.
Yeah, talking about it. But I'm not gonna like dim my light, and my light isn't me. It's the Most High, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And in talking with this, so I wanted to do a prayer before yesterday at the event. So I was like, okay, and usually I like to have a verse. So I was praying about it for like a month, right? I knew this thing was going on, and you know, me and my son, we talk a lot, and he knows my process. I let him in my process of how I think. And I'm like, you got to pray for everything you do. You got to pray. I pray for my artists. You got to pray for the sessions. You pray for your equipment, because my equipment, thank God, it hasn't taken a crap. And sometimes when it does, it's like, okay, it's the time. But you know, it's like I'm a praying dude. So I was like, I need a verse but I'm like looking and it's not hitting. Like I'm reading my word and it's not, that's not the verse. So my son was like, all right, cool. And then my son just randomly texts me, Dad, I think this is the one. And I'm like, perfect. So I was gonna share it yesterday, but we did with everything, the commotion. It was crazy, we didn't get that moment. But I feel like that's for you, you know. And the verse is Galatians 6:9, and it says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And I feel like you're not. I don't ever see you like giving up, even when you're emotionally drained. Sometimes it's just we're low battery. We just need a recharge, and the only one that could recharge us is God. And I see it in your work. I see it in your music, and I just see it in your life. I see it with your brother. I see it with your sister. Shout out to your brother, because man, you know what I mean. To have him play that role of leaving those CDs. It's like God uses your family. I bumped into your sister randomly when I was dropping off flyers at shout out to Tio Chilos, you know what I mean?
Oh, we just ate Tio Chilo. Shout out Tio Chilo. You took care of me.
I love them. But you know, I saw her randomly and I'm like, what the heck? But just seeing her and just seeing reminds me of who you are. And that's who you are, bro. And I feel like God is getting you ready. Getting you ready for some big stuff, because it's cool to like make it and you could be that rap, gangster rap, and you'll make it, bruh. But I feel like you have a bigger purpose. You're gonna make it with the content and the message in your music. Yeah, that's who you're gonna connect with. Your music's gonna prevent like the younger TYSF, the younger Diabla. Diabla shared on the last podcast that we did that she was suicidal when she started, and that's how she started rapping. So how many kids don't get that, you know, like epiphany that they could do that? Right. They just deal with it and they off themselves. We've had people that off themselves or overdose on fentanyl. Right now, fentanyl is going crazy, right? So right now, people need Jesus.
Yeah, for sure.
Know, the reality, and talk to me about your plans on the music, because I know that you transition, like you say it's been 2 years, but you've been planning this, you know, even like the style of content, because you did the Love project, you got the little heart tattoo, you know, talk to me about that transition.
It's like an ongoing one. So right now I have my brand, Ghetto Girl of God. It's practically, I'm learning the Bible. I go to Bible study, you know, hopefully, you know, and my whole dream thing is Ghetto Girl of God will consist of music, like healthy, well eating, and it will consist of learning the word. And, you know, it's going to consist of a couple different things. That's what I'm hoping. So that's what I'm preparing myself for. Essentially, I would love to become a pastor at a point, to be able to go out and preach the word with the right certificates and do what I got to do. Because one thing about me is I'm relatable. You know, it's not like I'm coming to you and I'm telling you as a perfect person, which nobody's going to be perfect. There's only one perfect one. And, you know, so I just feel like, you know, I just want to do my best to be able to do that. As of right now, Ghetto Girl of God is my main like priority. As far as the merch, people have already been asking. I've been wearing my merch for myself, and people have been asking. So I'm starting to see, which money is not everything, but it is a necessity right now. But I'm seeing how with God's fruits, I can make money, you know? And I feel like He knows if I'm pivoting from one thing that's making me cool money, I'm hoping I can make cool money as I'm, you know, doing what I got to do. So that's really my whole focus. The brand, Ghetto Girl of God. I do have to release my catalog though. It's very important for me to release the features I have. I have some legendary features. But yeah, that's really my plan right now. Releasing what I have. Maybe putting out an album or two. I've always had a little hood, a little classy. I have volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3 out. I want to do a volume 4. The tracks are there. I just got to get them mixed and mastered and released. I started doing more singing. It came from doing a lot of worship. There's gospel music and then there's worship music. There's gospel hip hop. There's a lot. So I started pivoting into worship music. I feel like gospel is very dope, very important. You could vibe to it, you could clap to it. But worship music is being in tune.
It's different.
Yes, you be in tune with God he's there with you. You'll feel his presence. So I'm really trying to do more worship music. So if people feel really lost, like they don't know what to do or what to say, you don't have to. You play the music, you close your eyes, and you let it happen. So I think that's what I'm doing.
That's amazing. I was talking with my brother Stilo. Shout out Stilo out there in LA, and we're always talking about what the next thing. We're always trying to figure out what the market is doing, what music's making money. All of that. And he had a meeting with some label people, and they were talking about what the number one playlists right now is the meditation music, right? But I always thought, like, what if you do like because the worship is like meditation, except with words.
With
right?
words, yeah.
But even that is a whole market. So there is money to be made, and it's not that you do it for money, but we think that like going good means that you're gonna be broke. No.
That was my point.
No,
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. you don't like. There's so like when I was traveling, bro, like these people are the ones that have, like, for example, the worship singers that they pay. They're getting like 20 to 50 bands to do a service, and the service is like, let's say their set, it could be like 20 to 45 minutes, and they get paid bank. They don't have to. You don't have to chase promoters.
Yeah,
but that industry is the one that has treated like all the artists like rock stars, like really, and because they have the budget. So there is a market. There's a market in there, but I feel this is what I feel. One of my pastor homies who he started as a rapper as well. He went through his purpose, and his dad was a pastor, and he passed away. He had to take over his dad's church, and then he started the English side, but he also thought he was gonna be this rapper. He hooked me up with Rich. He was like in the streets. He was a hustler, bruh. And now, like, to see what God did in him is amazing. But we were in that gospel world, and we got to see the hypocrites and all of that stuff, right? And then we got to see, like, okay, some of this stuff is also a show too. How do we connect to the people that are in need of this music? It's not just a show. It's not just, yes, we sometimes you got to entertain, right, to minister. You got to get their attention, because we're dealing in a different time. And I think you, like, doing your music before is almost like a test run for what God wants you to do with his music.
Right.
Because it's like you can't do it like everybody else. That's for sure. Because your thing is, you're supposed to be, yes, you're getting your word from the Bible, and you're going to church and stuff, but you're not of this world, but we're in this world, and we got to connect. We got to be like the lighthouse, right, in these dark places. And
that's so funny, because that's my church's name. The
oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah. so it's like, and that's what we're supposed to be, these pillars in the community. So, and because not everybody can go to church, or let's say even like I've been in places where there's homeless people and they don't want to let them in because maybe they smell, or type stuff, or oh, he can't come in because he's wearing a hat and you got to take off your hat. But what if he doesn't want to take off his hat? But how come so all of this stuff, or you got to dress a certain way? It's like God is for all people,
for sure.
And I feel like with your music is gonna be a good bait, a good like catch that you're gonna put out there for the people that need it. Yeah. So I encourage you to keep going. Talk to me about, okay, so you're doing that, but you're also working your butt off.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're going to school.
Yeah, I'm going to school to become an RN, hopefully mommy and baby, or maybe emergency. I feel like I'm a very attentive person. Yeah. So I'm hoping for emergency. We see more cases in emergency when we go to a hospital. So that's really what I'm going to school for. I work at the airport. It's a very fast-paced place. You see people from all over the world. You have to help people. That place humbled me for sure, because you have to help people, and you don't even know what they're saying because the language barrier sometimes. Yeah. But that's definitely like even my job is training me to become a more patient person, a more empathetic, not just sympathetic, but like, an understanding person. We tend when people are late to their flights, we tend to say, well, you're late, just rebug, just you're like just try to make the person feel a little better, try to see if you can do something, and I just feel like you're right, everything is molding me to become who I'm supposed to become, and I'm excited for it. I mean, as far as the music and I'm gonna just call it in gospel, like I have literally gospel EDM music that people don't even know I'm even doing. Like when I'm ready, I'm gonna bring it to you and Clayton, because I'm just all like, this is crazy how I'm about to like really dive in, which is crazy because to me it's like with the other stuff with hip hop, I knew it was hip hop, I knew it was rap, but with God, I can literally sing EDM, hip hop, salsa, merengue, like it's crazy to me. And the thing is for the last I would say, like, obviously for features, shout out Total Devastation and Bernie. They've been keeping me booked. I'm writing music for them, doing an album. Like, so that right there, like, I was so conflicted because I'm like, God, why would you? I'm like, I'm going through these changes and now you're like, because I want to be a ghostwriter as well really bad. Like, I like performing and doing music. I'll always be open to that. But I know my ability with the pen, and a lot of people, no names, have asked me to. And I'm like, this is something I'm open to do. But then I started my walk stronger. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how do I do this? Like, without being, because when you're writing for someone, you're stepping into them,
You're not you, you're that character.
So I'm all like, oh my God, is this right? But it's been going right. Like, that's the whole discernment and everything. Like, I feel like I'm doing it right. I'm not doing anything wrong. My intentions are right. I'm not doing nothing. Yeah. So I feel like it's going to work out for me, like you said. And I think I will still be very involved. Because the thing is, like, Queen of the Skull, nobody can take that. Yeah. The 15 years I put in, opening up for Andre Nicotine and Hustler, being in big rooms with big people, my name being brought up in rooms that motherfuckers don't even want to tell me it got brought up, but it got back to me. Like, things like that happened already. And that will continue to happen in a different form. It's probably going to fuck their world up, honestly. Because they're going to be like, wait, what the fuck? Like, So I just felt like I'm chilling. I feel like I'm a quadruple threat. So I'm not tripping.
Most definitely. I wanna play some music right now. We got Young Cudi that's about to pull up.
Hell yeah.
But I wanna play Angelos House. That's a dope record. We actually did the video at the block party last year, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was dope. That's GT Distribution.
Yeah. Dope. Shout out GT Distribution.
Shout out Gotos, man. But we're about to get into it, play a couple of TYSF songs, and we'll be right back. You feeling? You got rest?
Oh yeah, I got rest for sure, man. Went to go eat some tacos right after, then went home, put on some of that new Twisted Metal show they got on, and fucking knocked out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm rested.
How'd you enjoy the show yesterday, bro? Like that,
It was dope, bro. it was dope, man. It was dope to see the whole crowd enjoying it and seeing everybody around, seeing seeing everything come to fruition, you know what I'm saying?
I saw you with the meta glasses.
Oh, yup. I was keeping the scene on my 007 shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was some dope content, bro.
Right on. Yeah, I got more, but they died on me, so that I wasn't able to get like some of the other performances because I had to charge it. Yeah. Like I didn't get any footage of Delasio. Yeah. He killed it. He did, but I was like, damn, I wasn't able to get nothing. I was like pushing it, thought I was recording it. Yeah. And come to find out, it was dead. Yeah.
Shout out right now. I know Casanova's listening, man. Shout out to you, brother. He came a couple hours away just for the show. So I appreciate you, brother. I know that he's with his mom. Shout out to Mama Casanova out there hanging out, catching up with his baby boy Casanova. But bro, like it was amazing last night, bro, to see not just what we could do. But I always, like, for me, my highlights is always seeing Yana and TYSF, because I feel like that's like a good look for everybody to see. Like, yo, take notes, bro. Not just lyrically what they spit and not just how they perform, but the chemistry and the camaraderie, bro. Like, it's so dope to see, because, we work with a lot of artists, and especially some females, bro. They be like, bruh, like a little catty, and you don't see that a lot, man. We worked with Yana how long, bro?
It's like 2000, I want to say 2018.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's when I first tapped in with her. We did Elm Street.
Elm Street.
That was our first song.
Yeah.
That was our first song.
Talk to me about Elm Street, bro.
Shit, bro. I was just on Instagram and I just came across her. I hit her up, sent her some beats, and then she hopped on it, shot a music video. Who shot the video?
Toxic Films, and he's back and better.
Okay.
Toxic shot that.
So it was a dope video. It was dope, and ever since then we just been keeping it going.
And Toxic shot the one of the last ones you did.
Yes,
right?
he just shot Liars, which consisted of BPM Band and consisted of J. Armand. Shout out J. Armand. He got a new song out with Lil Bean.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, woo, woo. Shout out D.O. for making that happen for him. But yeah, that was really dope. Working with J. Armand.
That was a dope video shoot. It was a little cold one. We had to pier, but it was dope.
It was.
It was dope, man. Talk to me about Grew Up with Gorillas. I think that was one of the fun videos that we did with Yana, bro.
Gorillas was fun.
Like, shout out to Ari, man. She was in the video too.
Yeah, shout out Ari.
You guys were in the whip, threw the banana out.
Yeah. That was hella funny. I like Grew Up with Gorillas. It was super dope concept. I wasn't there for all the scenes.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been because it looked like y'all niggas was turning up.
Yeah. We went and hit Java House.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spun them. You feel me? We put on the gorilla masks on, and we had the pits out there.
Who shot that again?
Was it?
It's the dude that does really good. He did Lemonade.
Freaking John.
Oh yeah, John.
He's really good, and that was my first time really working with a green screen. With a green screen.
Yeah.
I was all like, what? Like, what do you mean you can make stuff happen? I'm like,
no, he's dope.
So that was
he's
dope,
man.
He did that one, and he did Lo Mio with you.
He did.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
He killed that one.
Yeah, John's pretty good.
Yeah, John's super dope.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, talk to me about the next phase. What are we looking like? What does 2026 look like? Are you dropping some stuff this year?
Yeah. So at the end of this month, I'm gonna drop Hotel, produced by the one and only Young Cuddy.
Yes, sir.
Featuring the one and only Black C from RBL Posse. I'm super excited for that. I'm gonna most likely do the video next month. I'm looking for some cool lowriders that want to come out in the community, some beautiful women. So I'm gonna do that. Like I told you guys, I'm going to be releasing, definitely 2026 is going to look like a lot of the same because I'm going to release everything I haven't released. So a lot of dope, melodic, hood music is going to be really dope. And then, starting 2027 is going to be a little bit more versatile, a little bit different. Go and hear something more new. But that's just what it is. And honestly, just getting my money up, like, it's hard out here. And everything costs, and as deserved. Like, the same way an artist wants to get paid, so does the producer, so does the videographer, so does the photographer. So, like, I also have to, like, have that ready in order to, like, execute it correctly.
You were doing, how many seasons of the podcast were you doing? You did
So, Ladies with Charisma did 2 seasons, and then QODS did 2 seasons as well. And then in between it, I had a couple episodes of the Keyed Up album release with interviews. So I have a lot of catalog. Like, even for the podcast. The podcast still my baby. My, like, goal with the podcast is still to do it. But, like, my ultimate goal with the podcast, which is going to align with my next phase in music, is to have, like, a live talk show, and then kind of the same concept, bringing in people, but now touching deeper topics, topics that people are scared to talk about, but I ain't really scared to touch. So just doing that and just, like, and not everything has to be, everything about me is always going to be godly, but I understand other people, But I was in the debate team for 6 years. I am the perfect person to talk to.
That's dope. That's like Candace Owens. You know how Candace,
yes.
So you're gonna be the Latina Candace Owens.
They want to beat her ass half the time. I don't want to get it. I'm like, but I definitely want to push, like, see where people's minds are at and stuff. But that was really dope. The podcast consisted of, like, entrepreneurs, artists that are already established, artists that are upcoming. I had, like, legendary people on there for just being an upcoming podcast, like, to be honest.
First of all, I need to give her flowers because, bro, like, she brought some legendary. We had Black Sea. We had Young Lot.
We did.
We had who else, bro? You had everybody.
Did you have
bro.
Gotos on there?
I had
Gotos.
I had what's oh my God, how am I forgetting his name? Yeah. Filipino, come on.
Oh, Nump.
Hello. I'm like, what up? Yeah, I had a couple of legendary people that I grew up listening to and like looking up to be honest.
Total Devastation on there too.
Total Devastation, which is so full circle because the Total Devastation one really threw me off because you know him saying like, out of all the Northern Californian female rappers that I'm their favorite rapper was like super fucking crazy to me because I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. They were like the whole movement, nigga. Before weed was legalized, they were trying to legalize it. So, you know, so I think it was just super dope to see that. And now to be working with them and working with Bernie and being able to like execute music for him and write for him and write my own music. Bro. Yeah, it's super dope, you know, and I'm really happy about it. I mean, that's dope. And just like, seeing his drive about it, like, you know, because Bernie for a long time, Total Devastation as a whole, I don't know if people knew, but they took a break, you know, and now that they're back, they're like, man, like, there's just this fire in them, and they're just willing and open, you know, like, you know, they're not, you know, he was saying like they don't really, back then you write your own thing, you do your own thing. He's like, but you're so raw, I need you to do something, and that's like super inspiring. Wow. You know, I'll pull up whenever, shit.
That's legendary, especially for us in the city. If you're from the city and you grew up on, you know, in the Mission, and you most definitely listened to Total Devastation. What was it? They had hella songs, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, bro, like they had so many fire ass songs, and to be a San Francisco native rapper, female, to write for them, bro. Like,
that's super dope. Thank you.
That's a big look.
It's super dope, and you know his son does music, and it's so crazy because his son does music, and you know like that's super cool. It's like you and your son, you know, So I'm like, oh, that's cool, Bernie, or whatever. And he's all like, yeah, he plays me a song. He's all like, yeah, I need you to get on that, and I'm just all like, that's so crazy. I'm on a song with Bernie's son. Like that's just crazy to me, you know. Wow. So it's just super cool. I'm excited for all that comes. Yeah.
And that was a lot of hard work that you did, because you did 2 seasons of Lady with Charisma. And then you also, I think there you interviewed D-Lo. That was a funny interview.
Oh, yeah. Right? I did interview D-Lo. Yeah, that was dope. I interviewed D-Lo. I had Dregs. I had D.O. Yeah, I had a couple heavy hitters.
That was you and Yari did that one, right?
Yeah, that's when we had Ladies with Charisma. We had D.O. That was a cool experience, I'm not going to lie. That was just, like, super surreal. I got him flowers and everything. I was yeah, that was super dope.
I think we even had a cake for the last season.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was so much fun to see that side of you, because you could be like, okay, I'm cool here. I got the rap stuff, man. I got it. I don't got to do nothing else. But you pivoted and you said, I want to do podcasts, but not just want to do podcasts. You want to do it professionally. You execute it at a great level, and even your dynamic with talking. Talk to me about you planning. When did you have this idea for the podcast, and where did your skills? You said you like speech and debate, I guess. Maybe? Yeah. So talk to me about those skills. How did you develop that?
Yeah, I feel like as a little girl, I've always been an outgoing person. And then just starting, like I told you guys, being in that cypher in LA at such a young age, 13, 14, they're like forcing me to be in front of people. Yeah. So by the time I came to Frisco, back to Frisco at 15, 16, it was like, I was ready, I was outgoing, I was talkative, so I knew I wanted to do that. You know what's funny? I've been wanting to do a podcast before podcasts were even like really in or a thing. And then History of the Bay came out, and I feel like that low key ignited a little bit of something, because I'm all like, you dumb bitch, like if you know, like if you would have just done it, like, you know, because like I don't know nothing about it. That's the thing, I didn't know nothing about it. I'm like, damn, like this must cost, this setup cost, you know. So I'm like, I don't have money to do this, like, you know. And then when you told me like, oh, I have cameras that run for hours, I have a mic, I have like, that's when things started coming together for me. But I had already thought about a podcast like
you were already doing it already. 5
years ago.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
But
yeah.
You see how
7 years, bro.
Or even then, just saying, how am I going to do that? Like, there's so many opportunities out there that people don't think about that. You know,
right.
Like, don't worry about that. And in fact, the money is not even, the money is a currency, right? Yeah. So whatever you output, you attract the money. It's not that the money's, you're being paid. The money's coming to you because you're like, I want to do this. And then inside you're like, I'm going to do it. And then here comes Mike.
You know what was my problem also back then? I feel like I'm okay with people saying no, but I tend to like figure it out myself once I get a couple no's. Yeah. And the thing about, I don't know, why? But with me, it feels like people look at me and they see such a put together person. Like, I've had people tell me, like, oh, yeah, you have a team. You don't pay for studio. You have a cameraman. You have Andez. First of all, I pay for every studio I've gotten into. I pay, you know, Mike's the only person who's ever let me walk in and maybe I'm like, I'll pay you later, or I only have this. So I'm all like, I don't know where people get this thing, because, like, I pay Ant, you know? Like, when I can't cut, he's the only nigga who slid me beats. Honestly, out of every producer, only person who slid me beats. So I'm all like, I don't know why people have... Like, I think it comes from working with Gotos. People assume I'm signed to Gotos or something. But I'm like, no. What Gotos and me have is because Gotos met me at 12, 13. So he has genuine, like, love for me. So he helps where he can help. But as far as me being able to go to anybody and be like, I need this much money to make this happen, that's not how it goes in my world, you know? So I'm all like, I don't know why people think I have it together. But no, I work regular jobs to be... When I had my podcast, I was working a regular job to be able to pay my production and be able to pay whatever I had to pay. You know what I mean? The editing. So, you know, so that's like... That was damn near like paying rent and a half, you know? So... Yeah, I don't know what it is. People just be thinking I have it all together. I just make it look good. You feel me?
Right. Sometimes it do be that way. Sometimes it make it look easy. And people think it's easy. And then people step to the plate and they try to do this shit. And they fucking give up like that. Like that. You know, because this shit isn't easy. You know what I'm saying? It takes money. It takes guts. It takes determination. It takes having to do things that you don't even want to do.
But with saying that, where you were saying, like, it just takes looking around, like, resources. My problem wasn't not reaching out to the resources. The problem is that my resources sometimes say no to me. And I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, wait, why? Like, what's going on? Like, why? You know, I wouldn't ask if I didn't need. But I don't know. Like, I've asked no names. I've asked certain people, you know, what's up with management? What's up with this? What's up with that? And they told me, I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that. And I'm like, nigga, how you gonna tell me what I'm asking you I need? Like, what do you mean? And they'll tell me, like, just keep going because we see. And it trips me out because they're like, if you keep going, you can run shit. And I'm like, why don't you want to help me? Like, I'm confused, you know? But, and I don't take it as they're hating. I'm just like, do y'all really think? Like, it confuses me.
Well, I mean, I think there's a sense of ownership when you do it on your own, right? When you're putting in the work and all. And then there's some that don't see what glow you have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, well, now, but it's a mixture of both things, right? It's like some you'll get the help, but you're gonna get the help where it matters, right? The person's gonna come in and say, you know, don't even worry about that. I know it's there. I know whether it's money, you know, whatever it is, you know, whatever value you want to put, it's like it's there. But they're seeing as who you are as a person and what you can put out, right? Because there is a lot of people doing a lot of shit the same way, but it doesn't mean it's fucking valuable. It's like, okay, I'm gonna tolerate it until that one person or that one, you know, whether it's a man or female, does it, it's gonna grab your attention. So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, I think sometimes people miss that in you. So if they're saying no, or, you know, they're like, well, no, you don't need that because you need this. It's like, well, no, like you were saying, I have already a vision and how I want to execute it because you know that's the best way to do it. You don't know no other way, right? That this is what you've been planning in your mind for, forever years you've been thinking about it. So, yeah, I mean, it's that's gonna come. The no's are always gonna be there, you know, and it sucks, right? Because it's that it's that reaction that you get. Like, it's not just you, it's just mentally your emotions kind of come out, your ego kind of gets bruised, right? You're like, well, I'm trying to do something. Not that I'm saying that you're taking your ego as, you know, this is, you have to listen to me. But this is like, look, I'm trying to do something, and someone says, no, well, that's not what we think you should do. It's like, well, wait a minute. You know, how like you were saying, how do you know that? You're not thinking what I'm thinking. You're not setting the goals that I'm setting the goals.
For sure.
But yeah, it's I mean, people who are gonna matter are gonna be put in your place. Put in your path.
Yeah, and I'm blessed to always, like, let me be super clear. It just prolongs it. It's always gonna happen with me. Yeah. It just prolongs the thing happening a little quicker. But I'm always make it shake, figure it out, like shit like that.
No, I think it's dope, and I feel like officially, like for you, you're such a. Like, I feel like this is what it is. You look put together, like with everything that you're doing. So I think maybe a lot of people may think, oh, she doesn't need the help, you know. I need the help.
I need all the help. I need the money. I need the help.
And there's that aspect, but it's not just that. There's also niggas be hating,
right?
You know, Let's call a spade. Motherfuckers don't want to put a female, and they're intimidated because you're working harder than a lot of males in the industry, and you're rapping better than them. Well, I mean, I've seen that for years. Like, that's what stood out for me. I remember one of the first times that I seen you really freaking do your thing was like at a Dying Breed event where it was like hella people in there, and it was like, you know, a couple other females, but you were freaking doing your thing, bruh. And then you had the dudes there like having to give you respect. Right. There's girls that could come in and they do their thing, and you know how guys get, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. But when you got on that stage or got on that mic, you demanded that respect, and I feel like that's a threat for a lot of people. Right. A lot of people can't handle, damn, bro, like, and it's even, I've been in sessions with Cuddy, right, where Cuddy's producing the record, we're developing these artists, so you shouldn't be threatened by the producers, right? Right. So Cuddy's like, oh, they want him to get on the feature. When Cuddy gets on there, like, he's like, oh, never mind, bro, I'm not trying to get on the song, right? You know, and so people get threatened. They're like, oh yeah, I wanna, and then once they see, nah, it's cool. I don't want you to win. It's like that. What was that movie, Paid in Full, when he's like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. He's riding too clean. Yeah, exactly. He's riding too clean. So I feel like there's a lot of that aspect, and I've seen it, and that's why for me it's like, I want to empower her because she's a boss. If I like, because I consider me like an official manager. Like, I'm always gonna help out wherever I can, but with her, she's a boss. She does need help for sure. Like, we all need help. Right. You know what I mean? We need help with everything that we're building. But until then, bro, like, I feel like we're building something so dope. We're gonna drop some BQM. Some music on the BQM label with Yana that's coming up. So I feel like you have a team. Always know that. You know
Thank you.
That.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to talk about it. It's same with Jay. You know, he knows what's up.
And I want to be clear. Like, you guys are like family to me. So like, when I say team, like, I'm not necessarily like, I know I can always count on you guys. Like, that's just automatic. But it would be nice to have a La Russell team. To have somebody that's always there, that's literally doing, you know, and the La Russell team is, they stood down till the money came. And finding people who are down to like shoot for you. Shout out Ant, because he's about to shoot the Black Sea video with no pay. So shout out to you. But that's him being like, what I need, you know. And I came to him humbly and I told him, like, this is what it is. This is where I'm at, you know. I told him, like, humbly, like, Ant's been doing videos, but I brought Ant around and that motherfucker booming.
Blew up. Yeah.
So I told him, nigga, I need you to spin back and I need you to do a video for me real quick, because I need you, you know. And I think, like, that's the way it should be. I never told Ant, like, Ant, why are you working with hella people not making time for me? No, I never did that. I told him, you get your money, you book as much as you can, but don't forget about me because I need you, you know? And that's just what it is, and that's with everything, you know? That's why I'm very appreciative of you and Gotos. Like, you guys are my, you know, it's just, you know, different scenarios, different things, but you guys genuinely help me where you can, you know, and when you can. Yeah.
No, I feel like in going into this next phase of your music, I would love to help manage you, especially because I feel like I don't think anybody else,
this next phase, I believe so too.
Because I don't feel anybody else knows, like, the gospel market like I do. My wife sings at Christian Center, and she's been singing there for the last 20 plus years. And it's nothing but a lot. It's not, she's the only Latina. It's a lot of black folks. And these are our family. These are this is literally, because I don't have my mom and my dad and my sisters and all of, like, I'm like on my own, but these are my people, and I know this market, and I know what you got to look out for, because you still got to look out for snakes in every industry. But I feel like right now at a point of your life where you're at, you don't got no time for no BS. Let's save the headache. Let's go straight to the places where you're supposed to build, where God's sending you. It's like there's so many doors that get closed on us, and I used to get mad because I'm like knocking on doors. I'm like I'm giving them everything that they're asking plus, but then they get threatened and this, and it's like, God, but I thought this was the opportunity and it got closed on me. It's like, no, just keep going, because you're supposed to develop that like thick skin because I'm gonna open some other doors for you. Just right now, I'm developing this discernment where you can't just get excited from any door that's open.
For sure, yeah.
You only go through the doors that I'm
allowing you to.
And I think that's the thing.
And ain't it crazy when he opens the door, lets you peek in, and then
close
it?
Yeah.
I'll be like, what are you doing?
Bro, like, I be getting my emotions played with. I'm like, what the? And I'll be talking to my wife because when I feel like frustrated, that's why it's beautiful that you guys are going through this thing together. Because when I'm weak, my wife comes in and she injects me with like the strength that I need. Right. I've been there where I wanted to quit. I'm not gonna lie. There's been times where I'm like, I don't know if I could do this anymore. This is draining. No one wants to support my team. Like I'm the only motherfucker out here like putting for my fucking team, and they're not. And it's like, God, are you telling me that I should quit?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, keep going. Keep going, because you're almost there. We're looking at the now, but we're not looking at like the sacrifice that we've done that got us to this point. You know, we survived a lot of traumatic stuff. You know what I mean? Growing up in the city, I also was born in LA, so from LA to the Bay, like that whole thing, the cultures, bro, like there's a purpose for us. But at this point, it's like, now I only want to go through the doors. I'm not even entertaining nothing. I'm like waiting. I'm like this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cute. But God, what do you say? Because I'm not getting up. All right, you want me to get up just to look in the room? All right, cool. I'm not gonna get excited because I need that confirmation that, okay, this is where you're going. This is the people. And sometimes you gotta meet 10 freaking shady people in the same room to meet that one person that's not like them, that's like almost like a secret agent.
For sure.
You know, and that you connect with, and that's the person that's gonna bust the door. Dude, I've had that happen so many times to me that I'm like, bro, I thought you was just like them. And I'm like, nope, I'm nothing like them. And I wanted you to know that I'm nothing like them. Right. Because I want to work with you directly, and this, let me save you from this BS. Let me save you from this. Stay away from these people over here. They're gonna tell you need this, but you really don't need that. All you gotta do is this. Right. So I think you have the mentality of a business, bro. Like you sell, you have your own clothing line. We haven't even talked about your clothing line.
Yeah.
But so okay, I say that to speak life. You know that God is in control of every single aspect of your life, and the doors that He's opening, they're for you, and they're not. And right now, it's like we can't focus on who's not supporting, because there's a thing called a perverted blessing, not perverted sexually, right, but perverted, like the blessing is meant for you, and if there's people around that aren't supposed to be there, they're just gonna see like, I need my cut, or I'm getting this and I'm getting this, and they're just taking away from the thing that's meant for you. And you have a lot of people that are around throughout the years that support you, that don't, that this, and it's like, bro, He's doing the work right now. In the last 5, 7, 4, since you were 14. Right. Not everybody's going to make it. But when you get to that place, it's going to be different, stress-free. It's when you're blessed, He's going to be blessed. You know what I mean? Because that's how God wants to do it. It's not just with you. It's
with the people around you.
It's with the people around you.
Yeah, and I wanted to definitely give you your flowers for that, Mike, because from the time that I started going to your studio, your patience, your perseverance, and your trust in the small wins has been so big that you're in this place right now. Like, literally, I was just telling Sean not long ago, like, Mike used to be in that studio all the time. Yeah. And now you're everywhere. You're, like, everywhere. Yeah. Like, you know, we used to talk about you stepping into the headquarters of Empire. Yeah. Now, nigga, you're stepping into yours. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? You're planning on yours. Yeah. So it's like those things, and the thing about you is that you stay patient. And that's something that a lot of people don't stay. Mm-hmm. Even through the frustration, I think that's something we really have in common. Like, we'll get frustrated, we'll cry it out, well, whatever. We'll cuss at ourselves, the world, everything. But we'll be like, okay, God, what do you have? Yeah. What's next? Yeah. Because we stay patient, we stay there, we stay faithful. All you need is literally the seed of a mustard seed. And we have that.
Honestly, that's why I love my brothers, because honestly, the support that the world doesn't give, it's like, I'll hit up Cuddy, hey bro, we got a session, and he's like, bet, pulls up, and it's like, these are genuinely like my brothers, and honestly, I don't need anybody in the industry. We don't. You know what I mean? We really don't. We really making this happen within ourselves, blood, sweat, and tears. Yes, we cry it out, we fight it out, but you know what? We always have to get a retrospective.
Yeah.
You know, and then be like, okay, what was I supposed to learn from that?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Okay, what am I supposed to learn? And sometimes those lessons hurt. They hurt, but you know what? When you focus on the lesson, it's like, oh my God, that's such a valuable thing, because now I'm never going to do that again. And I feel like we've done that. We've done this is a trial and everything. This isn't I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to blow up. I work with artists that think that because they have one song that's dope, it's their first song, and they put it out and they get like 200 views, and they're like, oh man, I quit. Yeah. Like, what? What the hell? I'm like, bro, like, people are putting out music over and over and over again, getting 100 views or getting 50 views or whatever. It grows, bro. Yeah. It grows. Consistency is key, and that's something that I've seen in you, not just in your music, but also in every aspect of your brand. Talk to me about your merch, and are you still doing merch? Do you have? I know that you have the Ghetto Girl of God clothing line. Talk to me a little bit about that and your experience of the merch that you sold before.
Yeah, so before the merch used to be QODS merch, which stands for Queen of the Skull. It was like urban wear, kind of like just t-shirts like this. But I'm honestly, like, unless it's for our teams and stuff, I'm not honestly a fan of too much. No shade to all. Yeah. You know I fuck with y'all. Yeah, I fuck with y'all, but I'm not about to go buy one of these for $45. I'm sorry. So I just feel like with that experience of even doing that, but at that time I was doing it for 20. But I was doing it for 20, 15, 25 most. But I just feel like I'm scamming. Like, no, I want to give you quality. I want to give you, something that's gonna last. Not something that like fades right away. So I really closed down. I closed down my business, QODS, RIP. I closed her down this year. And then Ghetto Girl of God was born. And it's just more creative. I'm taking the fabric more serious. I'm taking what's going on it more serious. Instead of vinyl, how about we actually have somebody sew fabric? Like, so I feel like this whole new chapter is growing in every aspect, from merch to
you're leveling up.
Yeah, in every way. I'm purchasing a vending machine. I'm putting it in hopefully in St. Mary's Park, if you guys just mess with me. I'm trying to put it there, just have healthy snacks for kids. My ultimate goal next year is to have Ghetto Girl of God. I told you guys it's gonna kind of mesh in with health, wellness, mental. We're really into juicing. I'm trying to open a juicery. Shout out the city, TYSF, everybody, that's helping entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So my goal is really Ghetto Girl of God and a juicery. Like, those are two things that I'm gonna really give my all to. And I put a lot of money behind my music. I feel like I owe the same amount of effort and money put into these other two things, and like you said, sometimes you don't have to think too much about where's the money coming, where's the income coming. Just let go, let God, just try to figure it out. That doesn't mean don't just let God do all the work. You have to put in the work. You have to do the work, because some people are like, I'm not going to worry about it. No, girl, you got to worry about when the next dollar come in. But
and you'd be surprised, because there's people like our ages that do that shit.
They do.
Especially financially. I'm like, no way. No, like, you still got to pay your rent.
Yeah.
You still got to do all that stuff. It's like, don't just think that the money's there. I mean, you got to work for it at the same time. But I don't think we should put so much emphasis, on it, and that's how we lose.
Yeah.
We lose when we put that power into something that is just a paper note, because that's what it is.
Yes.
It's just a paper note. It's not value. It's not gold. It's not even gold, right? You could have an extent to it, but yeah, basically it's like just let God do his thing or her thing, and it'll come. You have to be positive about it.
For sure. So my first round of Ghetto Girl of God, the first round of merch is going to consist of tote bags, a couple hoodies. It's going to be more of embroidery than vinyl. Vinyl will still be involved, but it's going to be like top quality vinyl, so when you can wash it, nothing comes off. But that's kind of the goal, just slowly elevating it and making dope. At the end of the day, I grew up in the hood, so dope urban wear. They could be something that looked like a Miri, Dior, or freaking purple, but be, come from a better background,
Yeah.
a more positive background.
Yeah.
I don't even clothes. I don't even think people know what motherfuckers that own these clothing, what they into.
Yeah.
And the more I looked into it, like I don't wear Dior no more. Like, and that was one of my favorite lip glosses.
Yeah.
But you have to be cautious of what you're doing, what you're buying, who you're supporting, and what they putting in the shit you're buying.
Yeah.
Or what
you know,
it means.
or what
A
it
lot of
means.
people
Yeah.
are like Balenciaga, and once you know what
Dude.
that stands for, it's like,
I was like, what?
Or like when everybody was on them Labubu's.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, whatever them.
So-
yeah, the evil ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just little things like that. You know, I just want to be a positive thing all around. I just want to be a positive force all around. You know, I want people when they purchase anything from me, hear anything from me, do anything from me, it makes you feel good. That's what I just want, you know?
I need everybody listening out there. You know, we got listeners all over, and a lot of people that do nonprofits. And we live in San Francisco, and San Francisco is one of the dopest cities that they have grants for this type of stuff. And you know, we got a female, Latina, Salvadoreña, Mexicana, San Francisco, minority, doing not just music, but she's like a freaking entrepreneur.
all.
She's an entrepreneur, and she needs the support. It's beyond one person. She needs an organization to say, hey, you know what? Okay, we see the vision, but you need this facility. You need 100,000. Let's start off with 100,000. But this is the power we have. We have the power to reach to these type of people. Right now, we're working with the team we're already working in that realm to bring that. We're trying to build the nonprofit, and I think the nonprofit world is something that is amazing because if you want to help people, it's hard to help people when you're freaking trying to survive.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to pay for bills. You got to think about your freaking mental health, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's not sometimes it's not healthy, you know, to do this and do it on your own. But that's why there's organizations out here that say, hey, you know what? We're going to help you. This money, you don't have to worry about the whole year. Imagine that, like, it's going to get paid for the whole year. Just do this. There's a budget for this. We bumped into some crazy stories of, like, people getting $250 for a year to move into a business, and another $100,000, and then $6,000 getting paid every month. You know what I mean? Where they're not even profiting off of the business. It's just they're getting an incentive from the city to have a business thrive. And we talked a little bit about a lot of opportunities a lot of businesses are getting. So I say that to say this: we need opportunities for my sister over here, TYSF, because it's not just music she's doing. She's trying to change the community, and she's trying to change. There's a bigger purpose. This is a message that not just little kids, big kids, adults, female, male, everybody needs this, bro. We're talking about a soul. That's what we're talking
literally.
about. Like, at the end of the day, it's a soul that we're trying to win over, because this world wants to take that soul away from these people.
For sure.
You know, it wants to destroy it. It wants to keep them down. But you know what? With this is what our community needs. This is what our community needs. So I know that there's big things coming with you. Tell the people where they could find you. We're gonna end the show with the Keyed Up album. It's like I really like that album.
Thank you.
It's one of my favorite albums.
Mine too.
Shout out to Gotos. I feel like production wise and even the covers.
Yeah,
is so
shout
dope.
out shout out Flo. Yeah,
Flo.
Highlight Flo. Shout out to you, bruh. You already know, you got them records, you got them what he got?
He got plaques.
He got plaques.
Yeah.
Stop playing with him. Yeah, he got plaques. So yeah, shout out to him. He did all the mix and mastering for Keyed Up. Shout out to Flex. He did the artwork. The pictures were actually taken in LA. Those pictures are in LA. I'm in a 5.0. Those people are from LA. Like, it was just a dope thing to have a Bay album with like LA like involved. Like, it was a full now that I think about it, it's a full circle.
Yeah.
It's a full circle. Being that I shot those pictures in LA, did that album here, I think it was a perfect album to show what my ability.
Mm-hmm.
It did really well on numbers, and now it's like I'm stepping into the next thing, you know. And the name is still TYSF, Queen of the Skull. That's gonna always remain. I own it. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what's to come and everything I could do. And just remember, like, every time you support me, no matter your age, like, my whole thing is like the youth. Like, to me, like, if y'all want to think like, oh, I'm too old, I'm done for, why do I got, yeah, but your children not, You know, their children are not, and future generations are not. And, like, things are changing slowly from what it was to now. It's a drastic change. So y'all could just imagine in the next 15 to 20 years, things that could be forgotten, like things that can no longer exist. It's our job. Like I said earlier, I feel like my job is being a disciple and just making sure that certain things still stay alive. Because without certain things, it could be a very horrible and very difficult life. So I just feel like, you know, I'm just here to make your life easy, baby.
Last question, and with this, we're gonna get into the Keyed Up album. What would you tell the young Tatiana at, like, let's say you said you started rapping like at 12, so let's just say, because like 13 or something, 13. but you were probably still living that life early, you know. Yeah. We find out about life young, you know. So let's say the 12-year-old before the whole thing, you know, your whole world is about to unravel. What would you tell that Tati?
That it's gonna be okay. That everything is gonna be okay. No matter what it is, no matter what happens, no matter anything. The only thing that you can't escape and you can't get out of is being dead. And that it's gonna be okay. Because sometimes a situation could take 5 minutes to happen and we dwell for it for 5 years. And that's not right. You know, thinking about the same shit for 5 months, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And you don't even know what you're gonna become. You know, you never imagine. That's what I would tell her. It's gonna be okay. I think I used to always just overthink and stress about what I'm gonna become. You know, and I grew up hearing, like, you're gonna end up being a game maker, you're gonna end up pregnant young. I didn't grow up hearing, like, the best things. So just to see who I am now, first of all, I'm 29 with no kids, bitch. Stop playing with me.
That in itself.
And I didn't jump into a game, bitch. I'm from a hood.
Like not having a kid and bro, like, it's amazing to see. I'm proud of you, sis, for real. I know that there's big things coming, not just with you, but also with Jay. I know Jay's
period.
Jay's
JR.
up next, you know what I mean? Like, we got some fire music that we're waiting on. But thank you for coming down, for real. We love you so much.
Thanks,
we support you. And anything you need from us, you know, we're always here for you.
Thank you. And shout out Cuddy, man. Cuddy on the beat.